personally.
Yeah, because that's what they do when you don't pay child support.
Oh, yeah, that's
Even if you're not the father, they don't care if you are the father. They just want the money.
It's their method of getting you to come into the office and take a paternity test.
It's terrorism is what it is.
It is. It was literally
state-sponsored terrorism. They love talking about Al-Qaeda being state-sponsored terrorism, but state-sponsored terrorism is when the state you live in tries to take your money when you're not the father of a particular child. That is state-sponsored terrorism.
Right. That's right. And not only that, but these young couples that think they're going to do it their way and they're not going to get married, they're screwing themselves, too. And, you know, I'm glad that when I worked there, I had that bulletproof glass in between me and those angry individuals. And they weren't only men. There were deadbeat women, too, quote, unquote.
Oh, I know. But you'll never hear about them, and they'll never be made to pay, by the way.
But, man, my mother put my father through the ringer to get her child support. And she screwed the government because she was getting welfare on top of the child support checks that he was already mailing in. And back in the day, there was no way that they could coincide the two. She felt that she was independent. She wanted to make it on her own. She wanted to go through medical school. She wanted to do a bazillion things except raise her children. And I just want to say thanks, Tom.
Katie, thank you. Jason, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. First time, long time.
Thank you.
Basically, what I got to say about all these independent or so-called independent women out there is independence equals loneliness, because the only ones that are talking that they're independent are the ones that don't have anybody. And it's full of...
Well, that's right.
You know, I just don't see the point of being so independent.
Independent women are dependent women whose husbands dump them.
Basically, yeah.
The ones who say they're independent. Look how independent I am.
Independent also means dumped. Nobody wants them. They got to be independent. Just like you said about the fat chicks, they're all independent because nobody wants them.
That's a very, very good point, Nicole, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. I just want to tell you I'm the exception to the rule.
Of course.
3 children, and I take care of them on my own with no money. Their father is involved, takes care of them when I am working, and I'm an exception.
In what way?
I don't expect any money from him. When he has them, he pays for everything. When I have them, I take care of everything. I pay the bills without any money from him.
Mm-hmm. And what if he said to you, I can't take care of the kids? What would you do?
I'd probably hire somebody to help me take care of them.
And where would you get the money for that?
Out of my own check that I make every week.
Really?
Yeah.
So you would never ask for alimony or child support?
No, I do not.
You never would?
I probably would never. I can't say I would. If his lifestyle was a lot better than mine and he didn't take care of the children, then I might ask him for some money. But until that time, I'm making more money than...
So the only reason you don't ask him for stuff is because he didn't have it to give.
Well, he gives in other ways. He gives by taking care of my kids so they don't have to go to daycare.
Right, but what I'm saying is, and I'm glad he does that, I'm glad some parent is home with the children at some point in time. But the reason you don't ask him for money is because he's not doing all that well.
Well, I mean, his full-time job, he makes decent money, but I make a little bit more than he is. So why should I take all his money that he could put towards my children?
Well, again, you may be the exception to the rule, but the rule still holds. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello here to Rick. Rick on the Tom Leykis Show.
Yeah, Tom.
Rick.
Hey, short-time listener, Tom, but going to be a long-time listener. Make it fast. My girlfriend, who I helped through school as far as being there for 2 years, was talking about how we could work as a team, attended her master's degree. She talked about bridal magazines and where's my ring, and as soon as I booked a 2-week trip to Kauai, she comes back shouting an administrator from Florida has a job opportunity, knew that I was going to ask her to marry her, and then decides to just pull the rug out from under me.
Right.
And then she says, I need my independence. I can do things on my own. I don't want you holding me back. If I want to get an administrative position somewhere else, I don't need you to hold on to me, even though I was there for her for the 2 years. But this independence thing, even though I've made an honest living, but I didn't make ever enough for her because I wasn't as status-minded as she was. And then as soon as I was her listening board and there for her, and she graduated, then she decided to just drop me like a hot potato. And what I was going to say, I'm a 40-year-old man, never fallen in love, and I can tell you one thing, all women are basically the same. All they think about is material and status. And the ones that say they don't, and they say they're independent, I couldn't agree with you more. The independence they're not independent. They need love. They need everything else. But the thing is, a lot of times their independence comes from the other guy, and they won't come and tell you that, because if it wasn't for that guy, they wouldn't be where they were.
You are right about that, Rick.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I just want to say I love you in a heterosexual way. Hey,
my ass is intact, then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Jill on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Jill.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I just wanted to call in and say that I'm a successful woman. I do drive an Infiniti in my name, and I did write the check. And I just wanted to say that I think women hold the child support issue just purely out of bitterness. I think that if you're going to have children, you better figure out how you're going to raise them if, God forbid, something happened to your marriage. I'm divorced, and my ex-husband is a great father. I wouldn't expect any child support from him, but I do expect him to spend time with the children because they are his kids too. But I fully support myself and my children, and I'm happily remarried and I don't, take the money from my husband.
That's probably part of the reason he does spend time with the children, because he doesn't feel that they're a burden on him and that you are a burden on him.
Well, and we shouldn't be a burden on him. I think it's, if you go into a marriage where you're going to raise children, then it's 50-50. And if you split up, then you still have 50% of raising that child financially and otherwise.
Thank you for that, Jill. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Tom on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
Okay.
Great. I was just driving home from work, and I totally agree with you. I moved from the Midwest out to California here. I was making, in the mid to high 30s there. I'm coming out here making 80. I got a ex in the Midwest there that's just taking me through the ringers. Every 2 years, religiously, she takes me to court.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 child support.
Right.
And it just sucks.
That's right. Now, but she tells everybody she doesn't need you, and she's independent.
Oh, she sits there, the bitch, she just sits there, and, she's married and still wants so much money and so much money.
Yeah.
Every time I get a raise, the raise goes for her. I work for that, just for that.
I'm sure you do, Tom, and I'm amazed all the women who call in here, and you just must have been hurt by somebody.
And these women that are calling in, Tom, they sit there and they say, well, I'm not asking for money from my husband. It's because their husband's not making that kind of money. They're making more money than their husband. If their husband, like the one lady said, if my husband had a better lifestyle than I did, then, yeah, maybe I would go after him. They're that greedy. They're that kind of women out there.
Well, we've all known them, Tom. I'll tell you that. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Hannah on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Hannah.
Can you hear me okay?
No.
I just wanted to say that I haven't heard anyone say anything about the children needing their fathers. I mean, all these women can you hear me?
Huh?
Are you there?
Wake up and smell the coffee, sister!
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
Well, there's so much research out there that says that girls need father figures in their lives so they don't pick the same kind of deadbeat dad that their moms did. And men need, boys need fathers in their life so they grow up to be men, I mean, all these women are, I don't need a father, and I don't need a man in my life, and I can make the money, but they can't be the father figure.
Right. But women say that they don't need a man around. They say it.
Well, I think that they should look at what society is turning into and all the anger that kids are growing up with.
I'll give you another example, and I've said this on the air before, but I'll say it to you. You know how all these women are always saying there's no good men? Remember that stupid song called Where Have All the Cowboys Gone?
Yeah.
And it's all about how there's no real men anymore. Well, you know why? Because we have the first generation of adult men who were raised by these so-called independent women who say, who needs a man?
Right.
So you have these little pansies growing up who don't know how to be a man, and then you have all these adult women saying, well, there's no good men around.
Well,
maybe if women stopped having babies as single mothers, maybe if women stopped